Hey, what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video. And today I'm going to be talking about this whole Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, The Rock situation, since things are now coming out. More things are coming out now. So I'm just going to say this right now. No matter what the original plan was, at the end of the day, I don't care, because what ended up happening is what should have happened, is that Cody Rhodes got to finish his story and win the WWE Championship. That's all that mattered to me. We got it. We probably got a better storyline than we would have gotten with just Cody and Roman again doing stuff, again, or whatever they were going to try to do because The Rock got involved. The end of the day, I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied that Cody got his main event, which he deserved. So there's been a lot of things, though, in the past couple weeks, especially, I guess, the WWE released the documentary or whatever that they did. I haven't seen it, so I can't really comment that much about it, but I've heard some things from some people that have been talking about it. And I've seen some interviews and some things even from Cody Rhodes. And basically, one of the things that just really irks me right now is this idea, that Triple H and Cody Rhodes was in on this whole thing, to make sure Cody Rhodes got to the main event. Okay, first and foremost, Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns was a one-year build, okay, after he lost at 39. And some people are going to argue, well, The Rock was supposed to face him at 39. He was supposed to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 39. But why wasn't he? Why did The Rock not wrestle Roman Reigns at 39? Ask yourself that. Ask yourself right now, why did The Rock not face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 39? Why didn't he? Because he didn't want to. Facts. That's why. It had nothing to do with his schedule, his Hollywood schedule. He's always busy. Even when he came back to wrestle John Cena a decade ago, he was always busy. He made his schedule. He even went on the Pat McAfee show a couple of months ago and said that, WrestleMania 39 was penciled in to me versus Roman for the title, but, things, quote unquote, fell through. You want to know what it is? You want to know why the real reason why The Rock did not want to come? And you all fucking know, if you've been watching this channel, you all know I'm a big Rock fan. I'm a big Rock fan. I like his movies. I have defended his movies because he's gotten a lot of criticism for his movies lately. So I want to hear this bullshit that I don't like The Rock. But you know damn fucking well, if you're a wrestling fan, you know damn fucking well why The Rock didn't come in for WrestleMania 39 to face Roman Reigns. Why didn't he come in? It's simple. Vince McMahon was not going to book him to win the title. Vince McMahon, who was still sort of in charge back then, even though he really wasn't. He was kind of pulling strings behind the scenes, as we all know. The fact of the matter is, the reason why The Rock didn't wrestle WrestleMania 39 was because Vince McMahon was not going to have him go over against Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns was going to go over against The Rock at WrestleMania 39 had he accepted to going for the title, if he accepted Vince McMahon's offer. Okay? That was what was going to happen. Okay? The reason why The Rock wanted to come in and face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40, because he was now a board of director, and now he had some pull in creative. You want to know what was going to happen at WrestleMania 40 had Roman Reigns and The Rock faced off? The Rock was going to win. He was going to win. And you know what was going to happen? You know that People's Championship goddamn title that he created, which was it was a gorgeous title, by the way. Probably one of the best designed titles I've seen in a long time. Okay. You want to know what was going to happen? That title was not going to appear at WrestleMania 40. He wasn't going to come out to that title at WrestleMania 40. You want to know what was going to happen? He was going to come out to that title the night after WrestleMania. See, what The Rock was going to do, and we found this out, what The Rock was going to do was he was going to win the WWE Championship from Roman Reigns, right? From Roman Reigns. He was going to win it at WrestleMania 40, and then the next night, he was going to vacate the title because he has to go and do his boxing movie, which was always in his plan. He was going to go do his boxing movie, okay? He was going to go film his boxing movie, so he was going to vacate the WWE Championship, and he was going to present himself with the People's Champion and saying that, you know what? I can't be the WWE Champion full-time, but I can be the People's Champion full-time. That was what he was going to do. That was what that title was for. Okay, that was what that title was intended for. Okay, it was not intended for what it ended up being because obviously they had to change everything. So they had to kind of come up with a creative excuse to why he was getting this People's title, People's Championship title. But that was what they were going to do, guys. That was the plan. Okay, The Rock only came back to WWE because, one, he got a sweet-ass deal from the board of directors. I mean, he's getting $30 million alone from doing his board of directors stuff. Okay, that's not counting his wrestling contract, which will give him even more money. So he got the board of directors gig, and so because he got the board of directors gig, he basically got more influence in, booking stuff, okay, in WWE. And because of that, he was going to book himself to beat Roman Reigns. If that isn't an ego-driven move, if that isn't a Hulk Hogan-like driven move, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Because that's basically what it was. Okay? So, that was the plan. That was Rock's grand plan for a WrestleMania 40. That was his grand plan. He did not take the match for WrestleMania 39, which, because he didn't, WWE had to go to the next plan, and that was Cody Rhodes. And Cody Rhodes main evented WrestleMania 39. He didn't win because Vince McMahon was Vince McMahon and decided for Roman Reigns to go over. And then they decided to do the 1-year build to make Cody get even more over so they can do his finishing the story at WrestleMania 40. They planned that in advance. All that was planned after he lost at 39. The plan was for somehow him to get to WrestleMania 40. It was going to take a long time. They were going to have to do a lot of creative stuff. They did the Brock Lesnar stuff for like the first 5 months with Cody. But that was the plan. The plan was for Cody to have that 1-year build of redemption to get back to Roman Reigns and win the Royal Rumble. That was always the plan. Then with all this crap that happened with The Rock getting on the board, because The Rock got on the board around early January, okay? That was when he got on the board, okay? So he instantly, put his self in the creative process. And this is how things changed. So, my thoughts on this is The Rock should have not stepped his toes in what was going on at the time. Cody was the hottest commodity at this point. This is what everyone was invested in for a year. Okay? And this is where they were trying to undermine it, even if it wasn't intentional. Now, as of recently, Brian, one of Rock's writers, he was actually a writer during the Attitude Era, he has recently commented saying that basically the idea of Cody winning the Rumble I saw as problematic. To full transparency, they had a meeting in San Diego. See, this is where like when I read this, I thought it was clean thing to do when booking Rock and Roman is to have Punk win the Rumble and challenge Rollins. Just because there was different storyline-wise, in my opinion, Cody wanting to finish the story and having to enter the right to finish the story by winning the Rumble. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Punk winning the Rumble, I don't have an issue with. Okay? Because I thought CM Punk or Cody were the two favorites. And that's kind of how they booked it. That being said, had Cody won the Royal Rumble, the match would have never happened because Punk, of course, injured his tricep. But, of course, they wouldn't have known that, of course, at the time. But here's the thing. And Cody Rhodes has since come on and has said that the idea of Rock versus Roman he did not hear about until the day of the Royal Rumble. That's his words. Is he heard that the day of the Rumble. And I'm like, if Cody heard this as a possibility, and he said possibility the day of the Rumble. He heard it as a possibility. If he heard this as a possibility on the day of the Royal Rumble, and then they still had Cody Rhodes win the Royal Rumble, and then they had Cody Rhodes point to Roman Reigns that he's challenging him for the title, that makes no goddamn sense. There is no way that you are booking Cody Rhodes to win the Royal Rumble match. There's no way you're booking Cody Rhodes to win the Royal Rumble match for a second year in a row if you are going to have The Rock face Roman. There's no way. If you even hear the idea of it, it's like, oh yeah, day of the Royal Rumble, I'm still going to win the Royal Rumble, but you know what? There's a possibility I might not even get to main event WrestleMania because there's a possibility The Rock is going to face Roman now. No, that doesn't make sense. This whole story doesn't fucking make sense. Okay? He was talking about how we were talking about, the thing with the Jinder Mahal promo, back in early January. We were testing the crowd. And I'm like, of course you're going to, of course they're going to cheer for that. Testing the crowd. Of course, that's not the point of this story. The point of the story is that Cody's supposed to finish the story. Because you're building towards a new star. And where was that? I want to see the whole. There was I want to read this direct thing about Cody's promo. The Cody. Because I was reading it earlier and I was like, this is this may. Cody. There was something about it, and okay, here, let me look at this. Okay, here we go. This is where it was. I want to read the direct quote here. Okay, so Cody Rhodes' facial expressions. Okay, his facial expressions. So this was on SmackDown. So when Cody was supposed to challenge Roman Reigns officially at WrestleMania 40, this was the SmackDown where he gave his spot to The Rock. Okay, and this is like what they're claiming right now. So, the former head writer Brian, who ends up becoming Rock's writer for his movies, he said that the facial expressions were supposed to be different. He said, quote, Cody is a human being who is genuine and real. He's wear his heart and emotion on his sleeve. Brian said, in Alabama, certainly, even if you tell me that would never work, it's stupid to propose it. The idea was supposed to be like the Nixon-Kennedy debate, a little bit where you read the transparency, you like Nixon kick his ass. If you watch the actual footage, he was a sweating, terrible mess. Cody, it was supposed to be in some form of, yeah, fucking A, go get him, Rock. You're going to get your ass kicked, Roman. Let's do this. And this uplifting promo, instead, he looked like someone shot his dog in the face in the parking lot. And I mean, here's the thing. Okay, this is delusional thinking right here. Where in the hell, creatively, writing, I mean, because this guy's a writer, okay? This guy's a writer. This guy knows his shit, okay? He's a, he wrote for the Attitude Era. He wrote for The Rock and a lot of his movies. This guy knows his shit. So, how the fuck does he think that Cody Rhodes, character-wise, after proclaiming that he came back to the WWE to win the WWE Championship, because that was his story. His story was to win the WWE Championship, the title that his father never won. Okay? Where in the hell, creative-wise, would it make sense for a guy who literally just earned the shot to get the title that he wants by winning the Royal Rumble and challenging Roman Reigns again, okay, for the title that his father never won, okay, where does it make any sense for Cody to be like, you know what? I'm just going to give it to The Rock. I know The Rock can beat him. Go kick his ass. You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense. This whole idea makes no sense, okay? And I think the backlash would have still been the same no matter what, because it would have been stupid. The internet crowd was never going to fall for this. Nobody was never going to fall for this. But if Cody did it on purpose, Cody did that on purpose where he looked, somber like he did. You know what? I don't fucking blame him at all. I mean, like, dude, this guy put in all this goddamn work for 2 years to get to this point with Roman Reigns for the championship. And then his title shot's going to just be taken away from him by The Rock. The Rock, here's the thing that the writer should have done. Here's what all of WWE should have done. They really wanted The Rock in the goddamn fucking main event. He should have been in the Royal Rumble match. Duh! I mean, like, seriously. I mean, I know people would have hated it still, but at least in storyline-wise, The Rock would have won the Rumble. He would have won the right to challenge him in storyline. By having Cody Rhodes win the Royal Rumble and then try to play damage control after he pointed right at Roman Reigns when he won the Royal Rumble match, trying to play damage control and basically try to have him just basically be Bret Hart. That's the most. I mean, I know people are bringing that up, how Bret Hart lost the title to Yokozuna, and then he just let Hulk Hogan face Yokozuna or whatever because they were quote unquote friends, even though they had never interacted with each other prior to that. That they were somehow friends. That's basically what this was. That's the closest comparison to this. Is that fucking Cody was somehow friends with The Rock, and that he was just gonna let him get his title shot that he just actually earned, and The Rock didn't earn shit to getting that title shot. That was like what it sounded like. And I don't give a damn what this writer said. I don't care how good this writer is. He should know better that this shit was never gonna work. He should have known that. This is not fucking Hollywood. I do hold him to that same standard. You want to know why I hold him to that same standard? Because this guy was in the wrestling business. This guy wasn't a writer that just came from Hollywood. This guy actually was writing for WWE before. Okay? Before he left to do writing for The Rock in Hollywood. Okay, so this guy understands how wrestling works. He understands how to write for wrestlers. Okay, so Brian knows this. And yet he still tries to sugarcoat this whole idea that this made sense. And he tries to put it together. And it doesn't make sense. And so, yes, I am going to hold this guy to more of a standard because of that. This isn't some run-of-the-mill writer that they just hired off the street that knows nothing about wrestling and has to learn how wrestling works. This guy actually did wrestling before. Okay, he was a head writer at one point. during the Attitude Era. Okay, so this guy knows. He knows wrestling psychology, so he understands. He understands it, and yet he still tries to put this whole thing that Cody Rhodes, after winning a Royal Rumble match, which gives him a guaranteed match for the championship at WrestleMania, is just supposed to give his goddamn title shot away to The Rock. It makes no goddamn sense. So that's my thoughts on this. I think this whole thing, like I said, at this point, like what this writer Brian is saying, and what everyone is basically saying at this point to me is damage control. There's no way in hell you can convince me otherwise. Some people are saying, "Oh, Triple H sabotaged everything because he's the head of creative or whatever." But The Rock obviously is higher up than him. I just I don't think this is how it was gonna go down. I mean, if Brian really thought, if Brian wanted CM Punk to win the Royal Rumble match, then that's how it should have went down then, but it didn't. Triple H had Cody win. And again, if CM Punk had, and don't get me, everybody knows I'm a big CM Punk fan, so I would not have complained if Punk won the Royal Rumble. But, I mean, honestly, it probably was a good thing. Because if CM Punk had won the Royal Rumble, the injury thing was still going to happen. I mean, the match was probably going to still go the same way. It's just Punk was going to win it. But, I mean, Cody winning the Rumble, to me, tells me that Cody was supposed to face... I mean, he was supposed to face Roman Reigns. That was the original plan. They changed it, supposedly, a couple weeks before. We heard rumors about it, but, a couple weeks before. But when Cody won the Rumble and he pointed right at Roman Reigns, it was just under the assumption that those were just fake rumors. And then all this bullshit happened. So, again, this whole thing is a mess. And Vince McMahon, I can tell you one thing. If Vince McMahon still had been charged, the one thing we can say about Vince McMahon, this would never happen. Well, for one thing, it would have never have happened because The Rock wouldn't... I guarantee you The Rock wouldn't have done the match because The Rock wasn't going to win. That's to say, like, people think that, Vince McMahon had been in control, that it would have been Rock and Roman. And I'm like, no, it wouldn't have been because Vince wouldn't have let Rock win. Rock was not going to beat Roman Reigns under Vince McMahon. If Rock did the match, he was losing, like, under Vince. That's the reason why he didn't do WrestleMania 39. He didn't do WrestleMania 39 against Roman Reigns because Roman was going over. The only reason why he took WrestleMania 40 was because he was going to win because Vince was no longer in control and he was, he had influence on creative at that point by being a board member. Okay? That's the reason why he took the match. Okay? So make no mistake about it. A lot of people think, if Vince was in control, that this match was going to happen under Vince. No, it wasn't. Because Rock was not going to win under Vince. Vince McMahon was going to have Roman Reigns beat him. That was the whole reason why he wanted Rock to fight Roman Reigns. Because he wanted to make Roman like the biggest fucking like blood. I don't know why Vince is so obsessed with Roman Reigns. But that was the whole thing. He's always been obsessed with him. He wanted to make him the biggest babyface ever. So because now Roman had to turn heel, Vince McMahon basically was punishing the fans by basically making him the biggest fucking heel that he can possibly make him by having him beat everybody. And that's what he was doing. He had to beat him. He had to beat Daniel Bryan. He had to beat Edge. He had to beat fucking... Kevin Owens multiple times. He beat Sammy. He beat Drew. Braun Strowman. The Fiend. He didn't really beat Seth Rollins. He got himself disqualified in that one. But point being is he was beating everybody during his Bloodline run. And I guarantee you that was going to be what happened to The Rock had he took the match against Roman at WrestleMania 39. So that's why they didn't do it. And Cody got the match and they moved on. Rock decided not to do it, so they moved on and they went with Cody. And so then they started the whole story that they wanted to do eventually anyways, because eventually they were going to do the Cody story. But it was just a matter of when. They did it a year earlier because Rock refused to take the match because he didn't want to lose to Roman. Kind of ironic how that works, since, The Rock doesn't want to really lose in any of his movie, because he's got that that's the thing. He's got that in his contract. He's got that in his movie contract. In his movie contract, he has essentially creative control on who he can lose to, which I think is just ridiculous in itself. I mean, we've seen it with Hulk Hogan for wrestling, but this is Rock as an actor, not a wrestler. Okay, and he wants to win, like, in all his, like, movies. And the only time he'll lose in his movies if it makes sense to him, So that's what The Rock wanted to do for WrestleMania 40. What The Rock wanted to do at WrestleMania 40 was he wanted to win. He wanted to win at 39, and he wanted to win at 40. Vince McMahon was not going to let him do that. That's why he didn't take the match. It had nothing to fucking do with this bullshit that, The Rock, his schedule was too busy at that time. He couldn't do it. That's bullshit. He could have made time. He made time for WrestleMania 40 to do it. He was there every week. He was almost on television like every week leading up to WrestleMania 40. Okay, so he definitely could have made time. He chose not to. Because it didn't benefit him. It didn't benefit him to do the match with Roman unless he won. Okay? That's why he didn't take the match at 39. Okay? And that's why he took the match at 40, because Vince McMahon was no longer in charge. That's a fact. That's facts, guys. That is facts. It does not matter what you guys think. That is a fact. He didn't take the match because he knew he was not winning under Vince McMahon. He was winning under himself in control as a board member, but he was not winning under Vince McMahon. That's why he didn't take the match. Facts. So, you know what? I don't care, guys. Cody Rhodes deserved to finish the story. I don't care if he sabotaged by doing the somber face or whatever. I don't care, because at the end of the day, Cody Rhodes was the right person to main event that match. It was his fucking year. That's how it should have been. That's what they were planning for a year. All right? And Rock wanted to squash that by doing his own thing. So, no. I don't feel bad at all. Cody deserved it. Now, are we going to get Cody and Rock at 41? Probably going to see that now, since they have the King of the Ring whole stipulation out now for SummerSlam. I don't care. I really don't care. We have Cody Rhodes as the champion, and that's the most important thing. Cody got to finish the story. He got to do what he should have done. Rock, I like The Rock. Everybody knows I like his movies. I've been a big fan of his movies, okay, over the years, and I've been a big fan of him as a wrestler. Everyone knows I liked The Rock when I was younger. The thing with The Rock is, this is a new time and this is a new age. And we need new stars. We can't keep relying on the old timers, especially part-timers. Okay, we need a full-time champion. And we finally got that with Cody again. Okay, we need a full-time champion, not a part-time champion. Okay, we suffered enough with Roman.